Chumripsur, Namaste, hello. It was here at Phnom Kulen in Cambodia that the mighty Khmer Empire was born when Jayavarman II anointed himself king, breaking away from the Hindu Java Empire. In this series, we will see how the Indic influence was absorbed and adopted into the local culture and is still a pivot point around which the Cambodian culture and life revolve.
This is an exceptionally ancient road. For thousands of years, it has been used for trade, for commerce, and for the migration of ideas and, of course, religion, because it is this very road that the ancient Hindu gods travelled. And as we go down this road, we will meet something that is absolutely wondrous. But to do so, I need to hire a guide, because this temple is hidden away. It is one that is exceedingly elusive. We have to walk through grasses that are head height. There are wetlands that must be negotiated until we come into the clearing of some open fields. And once we've crossed those fields, in the trees in the distance lays our prize. And it is a truly magnificent temple. One that's heritage lays far away in another land. So it's down a road that we can without doubt call a road less travelled. And where does it bring us? Well, it brings us to this amazing ornate blocked doorway, because we are at top Chey, Thom. And the truth is, this is one of my favourite temples. It is truly forgotten. I've been walking through the mud paths that bring me here, and there's not a single footprint. There's no sign that anybody ever comes here. But for us, it is greatly important, because what it shows is the extent of the journey of those wonderful Hindu gods that came across this ancient land. And if you search, you can see their influence. They didn't just travel over tempestuous seas. They also traversed across vast tracts of countryside. Now, it may be rather disappointing to come all this way and see a door that is completely blocked. But in this wall is a single break, and we can go inside. And what we see is temples as they were left, as the ancient people moved away. And this temple gives us a wonderful idea as to what's out there and what needs to be discovered. So come with me, let's have a look inside. Before we move on, we need to have a look at what is in front of us. Have a closer look at this ancient doorway and these remarkable walls, because consider this. They have stood here for over 1,000 years, and the vast majority of that time they have been neglected. But if we do take a closer look, we get to see the fingerprints of the gods themselves. Because have a look at these pillars by the sides of the doors. These are a fantastic piece of art in their own right. And they sit here neglected and forgotten in an abandoned temple far away in a foreign land. Now allow me to take you on a brief walk just round this corner so you can appreciate what it is we're dealing with here. This was a once almighty giant. This took the labour of thousands of people over Lord knows how many years. And when I discovered this temple, forgotten, abandoned, neglected, in the middle of this jungle environment, I was absolutely staggered. It was a find amongst finds. But of course, what I wanted to do was to go inside. Now, what you quickly learn as one clambers over these enormous rocks, and believe me, the masonry here is on a biblical scale. It is an absolutely incredible sight. Now, what we have here is a doorway. Again, it's completely blocked. Here are two windows. Maybe this is a way through. But alas not, because look, it is completely impenetrable. But guess what? There is one way I can force my way inside the heart of this ancient Hindu temple, and that way is just to my right. This temple was constructed by Suryavarman II. He's the guy who created the mighty Angkor Wat complex, the biggest religious complex in the world. And this one is one of his as well. It was constructed approximately the 12th century. Now then, I spend my life filming forgotten temples such as this, and it is always my solemn duty to do them justice. Now, the best way for me to do that here is to show you the size of it, and to do so I shall walk away from you, because it is only then that things come into perspective. I mean, these masonry blocks cannot be overlooked. Look at this one here. It is about as tall as I am, and along the side here is wonderful detailing, and this repeats itself left and right as I clamber up. And what we must remember when we're looking at this is how many man-hours were involved. I mean, we have hundreds upon hundreds of thousands of man-hours to create this incredible site, one that is sadly neglected. And it was here I stood a few moments ago with yourself, and we tried to get through this very window. Now, this window is about 5 feet in depth, so again, that gives you, an idea as to the measurements we're dealing with. And it was through here that we tried to go, but we were stopped by the jungle. Now then, as I sit here, hopefully you can get a much clearer idea as to how big this temple really is. Just through there, round that corner, was where we took that last shot. And it's coming to this side that we see a most welcome sight. Can you see it? It's there. There is a solitary doorway, and one that isn't blocked. So that is our way in. With this, it's meeting an ancient wonder. And as I've already said, one abandoned and forgotten. It is you and I that are treading these paths that are left unmarked by human feet. And that is absolutely amazing to me, and that is why I wanted to bring you here. No, this is not the most majestic of temples, but if you want to see and feel just a hint of what these abandoned homes of the gods are like, I could not bring you to a finer example. I mean, look, we now penetrate inwards into the inner sanctum. And after a very tight squeeze through that now debris-strewn doorway, we get through to the very heart of this temple. The very reason it was built is right here, because it is here a god once dwelled, a god that had travelled oh so far. So let us move on. Now you'll have to excuse the camera work, because moving over these moss-laden blocks is no easy task, as I only have one hand. The other has to control the camera. But we're just going to stop for the briefest of moments, because have a look at this. This is the ornate detailing that surrounds this place. I mean, it is breathtaking. And it was built for a single purpose. For it was here, in this abandoned ancient temple, a God once dwelled. And to me, it is heart-stoppingly beautiful. A place that still holds its majesty. It still holds that aura of greatness and most certainly of wonder. If we move through to the back, we can see a lintel has fallen. And that again gives us an idea as to how grand this temple once was. Look at this. It is absolutely huge. Now I'm going to place my hand just here, but then I'm going to have to move away. So you need to remember the width of this here is the width of my fingers, let's say. And look at that. It is absolutely huge. This is worthy of Stonehenge. And here it sits, alone and forgotten. These are the jungle vines that fall forever downwards, now into the temple itself. And I can honestly tell you, the camera is not giving you the true view as to how grand this place is. It's now been stripped to its bones. But to me, it is still as holy and as sacred as it ever was. This has been Top Chey Thom. And what an absolutely incredible experience and an amazing sight. Because what we have here is an ancient doorway, yes, but we have more. This could be considered a portal into another time and place, because this abandoned temple, if you add just a little bit of imagination, can become a storybook. Because we can surmise that we have a temple as grand and as wonderful as this. So therefore, around it was a very large town. And all those people have now gone. There is not a single trace of them. The last man standing is our friendly giant, the temple. And he is as magnificent as he ever was. I very much hope you've enjoyed this short trip round. And as always, I ask you, please like, subscribe and comment. Above all, comment. I would love to hear from you. And tell me what you think of these ancient, forgotten temples. As always, this is Mr. B, wishing you absolutely nothing but the very best. You take good care.